We have some trouble, people. Yeah. Oh, if you yeah. So I am just reading off on the screen right now, and so so according to some research by some scientists in Canada, and at least 26 flights have arrived in Canadian airports with confirmed cases of coronavirus overboard. So this has been happening since June 29th, and this has been happening on like basically like yeah. Domestic flights, like just from inside Canada, from one side to the other, or international flights. Also, so the following airports from international flights, I'll start with that. Have arrived in Canadian airports from Mexico City, Cancun, Zurich, Paris, Addis Ababa, Islamabad, Lahore, Qatar, San Francisco, Washington D.C., Dallas, Detroit, and there have been 3 flights from Charlotte, North Carolina. So the passengers on the plane, they have all been tested, and they have been tested positive for coronavirus, and yeah. So there was a WestJet flight from 261 from Winnipeg to Calgary on June 27th, and a flight 526 from Calgary to Winnipeg. On July 20th, July 2nd, yeah, there was a so there was like one passenger who had the coronavirus on both flights, and that affected basically everybody. So basically, anyone officials said that people who sat in rows 7 to 22 in the Winnipeg to Calgary flight, and rows 4 to 10 on the Calgary flight. These are people who are like high risk right now, because these are the people who sat close to the infected passenger, and they want these people to like stay isolated for 2 weeks, and make sure like they don't have any like coronavirus symptoms, and in Saskatchewan, they had red flagged 5 flights since June 11th. WestJet flight 296 from Calgary to Regina. And there's no information on Rose. And on July 4th, it was an Air Canada 7947 from Toronto to Regina. Rose 14 to 20. And in British Columbia, 4 flights have been landed in Vancouver in the last 2 weeks, and from Air Canada, from Kelowna, from Montreal, and July 6th, and Air Canada flight and 311 from Montreal on July 8th, and American Airlines from flight 1270 from Dallas, Texas on July 6th, and a United Airlines flight 375 from San Francisco, California, on the following day. So right now, Canada is, even though, there has been like then stuff like that has been going around saying that in the Ontario area, excluding Toronto, that businesses are at stage 3, and which means all businesses are like safe to open, but the requirement is still you gotta wear a face mask or face covering. Except Toronto businesses, they don't allow that. Oh. Some businesses are open, but not all businesses are like approved to be open. Because of because of like what's going on with like flights from all over from like as repeated, Mexico City, Cancun, Zurich, Paris, Addis Ababa, Islamabad, Lahore, Qatar, San Francisco, Washington D.C., Dallas, Detroit, Charlotte, Regina, Calgary, Winnipeg, Toronto, Kelowna, Montreal, and even Halifax, Flights have been gone from there to other places across North America. And you should not be traveling if you unless if you can actually approve that you have no coronavirus symptoms and have not been in touch with anyone close to anyone who has been out of the country or out of the area. And I am just shocked. And there has been at least one or more passengers that have been tested positive for coronavirus, and airports are one place that is a popular place for coronavirus to linger around, and anyone who's using airports right now to go across the country to from one side to the other, or from one province to another, or one state to another, needs to actually be careful about anyone who might have the coronavirus, make sure you don't have the coronavirus. And yeah. USA is still high in coronavirus numbers, and flights from Dallas, Detroit, San Francisco, Washington, D.C. Yeah. Are the ones that should be monitored. So, dude. No, the coronavirus is no joke. It's still affecting so many people, like thousands of people right now, and yeah. If we actually want to flatten the curve and lower the numbers to like hundreds instead, or even like tens and 20s, 30s, 40s. Avoid traveling from one country to another, or one province to another, or one province to states, or one yeah. So domestic flight or international flight, this is not the time to like do that right now. If coronavirus is like numbers are like high, and say you don't have the coronavirus, but say someone a couple of seats away from you has the coronavirus, and they have been tested positive of coronavirus. Yeah, and even if you are wearing a mask, yeah, if you get too close to the person, yeah, and if you're in an enclosed space, and yeah. If you like I've been on on a airplane a couple times on a flights from Toronto to Incheon Airport in South Korea, and yeah, I've been on the seats are like really like close to each other, and no matter what kind of plane you are on, yeah. Even if you are sitting on first class, no. You are still at high risk, people. No. And now, people, if you're wandering around and with someone who has been out of the country, as a reminder again, make sure you're like hanging out with the right people who are not like tested positive for coronavirus, or like they've been out of the country or the area. That's all. Be careful, people. Stay safe. With this international flights thing and domestic flights with coronavirus, it's just things have just gotten worse.